Listen, boys and girls, trailers. Okay, perfect. See you. See what do you do. Differences. The world or expose Kaiju. And today we are back on the Reaction channel doing Sam Onella Academy, and we're doing exotic animals that the ancient Romans saw. Like, holy crap! I am a huge fan of like ancient Rome, the Roman Empire, the Byzantine Empire. You know, like the Roman Republic, like the Punic Wars, like all that stuff. I love that type of stuff. Roman history is like one of my all-time favorite like this topics learn about history. So I saw this, I was like, I have to see this one. I have to watch it. It just has to happen. So here we are, we're watching it today. But yeah, before we get started, make sure you go check out Sam Manola. I'll put the link to his channel's Crocs below. And make sure you go check out this video also that we're reacting to. If you want to watch it without my commentary, yeah, I'll put the link to the video and his channel's comments below. Make sure you go subscribe and like his video. But yeah, anyways, let's get into it. Enough ranting, enough rambling, enough bull. Let's go get into it. Seminole Academy. Today's episode, exotic animals in ancient Rome.
Hey kids, I was inspired to make this video while doing research on the ancient medicine man, Galen. Apparently, he would often do experiments on animals in order to learn more about the body, his favorite of which was the Barbary ape, due to its anatomical similarity to humans. Now, when I say experiments, I don't mean push a button, get a peanut type things. I'm talking like Joseph Mengele meets the plague dogs. He'd clamp their pee tubes shut just to watch their kidneys swell, cut their spinal cords in different places to see what went limp and what didn't, and squeeze their brains and make them go unconscious, to name.
That's crazy, man. What the hell? That's not okay. That is, dude. If PETA was around back then, PETA would be having a field day. Could you imagine ancient Rome PETA? Jeez. Holy crap, man. That's crazy. That poor monkey.
Name a few. My initial reaction was, hey, that's neat, but then after some thought I was like, whoa, hold the phone. In 200 AD you couldn't get a doorknob even, yet if you had the right resources you could order a goddamn monkey. Many monkeys in fact.
Oh.
By the barrelful presumably. Alternatively, if you were born in the right place, you could be the monkey poacher, making a living wrestling up some primates with nothing more than a net, a pokey thing, a hole in the ground, and a whole lot of ambition. So I got to thinking, what other kind of animals did ancient Rome have?
But monkeys and apes are strong. Like our monkey and ape like cousins are a lot stronger than most humans. Let's be honest. Like I remember like it was a couple weeks ago, people were having a debate if like 100 men could, like unarmed men could like take down a gorilla, and I feel like the answer is like the numbers game would eventually like wear out the gorilla, and the gorilla eventually will get worn out. But I feel like the gorilla could probably take out maybe like 20 to 30 men at least before it's starting to get worn out. Like gorillas are tough, they're strong. Like they could probably break like an average human like a toothpick if need be. Like gorillas are strong. Monkeys are also strong. Even like the smaller monkeys, right? Like humans in terms of primates, we are actually pretty freaking weak. Let's be honest here. Like humans, like we have like, the thing that makes our species so successful is not our strength, because humans are pretty weak in terms of primates. But like humans are like we have our ingenuity and we have our brains. Not saying that gorillas and chimps and like that aren't intelligent, because they are. Like I believe most primates are are among like the most intelligent animals in the world today. But like in terms of strength, humans just don't have it. Most humans are rather weak, and like, we pretty much get our ass kicked by almost any large animal ever. Like it's pretty crazy when you think about it. The fact that we survived the Ice Age and like early human evolution, when there was like animals like the giant sloth, the mammoth, the saber-toothed tiger, cave bears, or small-faced bear, whatever I believe it's called. I believe it's called a small-faced bear, and like all of those other animals that could like kill us like almost like without like hardly even trying. The dire wolves, the fact that we survived that stuff is crazy. Hell pigs, Jesus. Like the fact we got this far is insane.
access to. Apparently basically everything that lived in this part of the map. They were particularly fond of elephants, and it's easy to see why. Sure, elephants aren't that big of a deal to the average person today.
What do you mean, dude? Elephants are awesome. Elephants are so cool. Like I don't know I don't know what you're smoking, Sam, but I think most people are still enamored with like elephants. Like if you go to a zoo or a circus, right? Which I know. Hold on, I know. Animals aren't usually treated very well in circuses, and a lot of times like elephants aren't very exactly happy in zoos. But like, if you ever go take a zoo or like a circus or whatever, the moment the elephants come out, or you're like the elephants like area, like the elephants like exhibit is like the most like popular exhibit in the zoo. Like people love elephants, and like the moment like when you go to like a circus or whatever, and like the elephants come out, like dude, like a lot of times the crowds go like erupts because they love the elephants. Elephants are badass. Even today, like people just love elephants.
Hey, right? You've been seeing pictures of them since you were 2, big whoop. But imagine if you were a 20-year-old man who had never seen an elephant in your life. The closest thing you've ever witnessed is like horses, maybe some deer now and then. You get drafted, you go out to battle, you're a little scared, but you've been trained well, you're ready. Then, over the horizon, you see 20 house-sized behemoths with giant tentacles sticking out of their faces, horns longer than your body sticking out of their mouths, all screaming their weird trumpety scream, making your whole body vibrate like Mars himself is shitting on you.
That'd be horrifying. I still like it's still fascinating to me that there was like war elephants, like in ancient times, like ancient Carthage and stuff like that. I think war elephants. That's crazy. Like I like you could they were literally living tanks, which is insane to me. Like if I saw like a horde, like a herd of. I've been playing way too many. I've been playing a lot of Days Gone lately on the gaming channel. Subscribe if you haven't. Go check out the gaming channel. Link is right below. But like I've been like look if I saw like a herd of elephants, uh, I would be kind of freaked out, man. Like they're huge animals. They're intimidating. They're loud, right? Well, yeah. Well, they are beautiful animals. They are very frightening. And if you like, yeah, if you're like some like ancient Roman and you've never and the chances are you haven't seen an elephant in your life. Like Sam said, you probably the biggest animal you probably saw at the time was maybe like a deer or a horse, and all of a sudden you see an animal that makes like the horse and like the deer look like little chihuahuas in comparison. It'd be insane. It would be like frightening. It'd be horrifying.
In your very existence. So naturally, Rome loved to show these things off all the time, just as a display of power. Like, imagine if you were going to a speech in DC, and Trump rolls up with a pack of dragons.
Yes. Yes. Mr. President, I know you're not watching this, Mr. President, but can we bring dragons to life? Like there's gotta be like some kind of like with all you know. I don't mean to pry into like but we have to have some kind of technology that we can like go into a different like multiverse, right? Go into like a different like dimension, and maybe we can like tame like a dragon or two and like bring him into like our dimension, our multiverse, whatever it's called. And then like, bro, could you imagine? Bro, like if we had that kind of technology where we could like go into the multiverse and just like go into different like worlds, I would. And they're like, hey, if you could do like, would you be able like, would you do this for us as like an experiment? I would be like, yeah, dude, I want to get isekai. You know how sick that'd be? You get isekai into like a different world. That'd be sick. That'd be badass. Maybe like a world full of like dragons and magic. Maybe they'll make an anime about me. It'd be pretty sick.
You'd listen to every word he said. He's got fucking dragons. That's what it was like seeing the Emperor parade around with elephants back in the day.
Fair.
Of course, that wasn't the only use they had for imported animals. When they weren't being shown off in menageries, many of the exotic beasts brought.
Why is that, dude? Why is that ant like 10 feet tall? Why is that ant almost? Why is that ant like a third of the size of the elephant? That's also a banana. Sam, I don't think bananas classify as animals, Sam. but back and that's a pigeon. Come on, Sam. We all know pigeons aren't real. Pigeons aren't real. They're surveillance cams by the government. But again, why is this ant a third of the size of the elephant? Like, that's horrifying.
To Rome were used in shows called venatios, which were basically like modern day bullfights, only instead of bulls, you had whatever crazy critters the state could find. Lions, crocodiles, gazelles, whatever. Around 55 BC, Roman statesman Pompey the Great decided to organize one such event, the featured creature of which was, you guessed it, an elephant. Unfortunately, Pompey forgot a crucial Barnum and Bailey.
Jesus. The greatest show on earth. These are like, aren't these like the known for their animal cruelty and animal abuse?
Trade secret. See, you're supposed to break the elephant's spirit before the show, not during. So the boys get to poking and the thing starts freaking out, just
Jesus Christ, Sam. Also, thumbnail question mark?
For the show, not during. So the boys get to poking and the thing starts freaking out, just screaming and crying.
Yeah, no shit. They're like stabbing in the stomach with spears. That's messed up. Like, how could you do? How could you do that to? Like, how? Look, I like amateur Rome, but like, you have like these spectacular animals here, right? And you're literally torturing it to death. That's some fucked up shit, man. Like, I hate animal poachers. I hate people just like murder like rare animals for either for sport or for like for profit. Like when like it pisses me off when you can hear stories about like elephants and rhinos and lions being slaughtered in like in Africa. Or like when you hear about like how people like will go out and hike, or back in the day, like in like the late 1800s, how they went like basically hunted bison to extinction almost in North America. Like stuff like that angers me. Like, bruh, humans just suck.
Gesturing towards the audience like it was begging for mercy. Now the crowd at this kind of event was mainly composed of dirty, bloodthirsty peasants, and even they were like, holy shit, this is messed up. I came here for a nice, family-friendly disemboweling or two, but this, just deplorable. Then they all start crying, and the whole thing just ends up being a huge mess. Anyway, these types of spectacles became larger and larger as time went on. It's said that Emperor Trajan once held a venatio lasting 120 days, during which some 11,000 animals were killed.
What the hell? What? Why? What? 11,000 rare and exotic animals were put to death. That's... Bruh. That's messed up, man. I'm somebody who like loves animals. It's like, oh man, that gets like your blood boiling.
Also got pretty elaborate. A lot of creativity went into keeping the...
Again, I love ancient Rome, but like it's like when you butcher people, whatever, right? People, whatever. People suck, right? Who cares? But when it happens to animal, like just animals like elephants and rhinos and hippos or whatever, right? And it's like, okay, that's not cool. If it's humans, it's fine, because who gives a shit? They're humans. But if it happens to elephants and rhinos, like, what the hell? That's not okay.
Things fresh for the crowd. In 203 AD, they had a model of a crashed ship built inside the arena, and an assortment of 400 animals were set loose from the wreckage, and then killed. That's what...
Why? I don't understand. What? Bro, what? What year was this? 203 AD. Okay. Hold on. What did 2448 BC. What? Okay. I was about to say, if was this the original Noah's Ark legend, like, story here, and then the Christians like ripped it off, or but no, I guess this isn't. The event of Noah's Ark is believed to have occurred around 2448 BC. It is based on biblical chronological. Okay, the event have happened approximately 1,656 years after the creation of Adam, according to Genesis. Okay, well. I still think that Noah's Ark is probably one of the coolest legends of all time. Like out of like mythology, right? Like there's a lot of cool mythology out there, but Noah's Ark, just something about it, it's crazy. Like crazy.
Loose from the wreckage and then killed. That's what we should do for the next Super Bowl halftime show, honestly.
No,
just
Sam.
pack every team's mascot into a decommissioned submarine. Then, when they all run out...
Oh, okay. If it's the mascots, then that could be kind of crazy.
Now, we have the troops gun them down while the
Jesus. Holy shit.
national anthem plays in the background. Anyway, the ingenuity of the people organizing these events really knew no bounds. One time they tied together a bear and a bull just to see what they'd do. Unfortunately, all that happened was the stock market.
Shout out to my dad for putting on Jim Cramer during dinner when I was younger, so I was able to make this joke. Oh?
Market crashed. Also, fun fact, one Emperor Commodus is credited with the invention of a unique crescent-shaped arrow designed specifically to decapitate ostriches and watch them run around headless for a while.
The hell?
Seriously, they did that so often that they needed a device to make the job easier. Sometimes, just to shake things up, they'd have the animals kill the people, which was known as damnatio ad bestias. This form of execution was typically carried out using lions, but other beasts were used as well, including dogs, bears, and at one point even an eagle, although the guy was crucified first, so it wasn't much of a fight. So, moral of the story, if you ever end up in ancient Rome and you want to see some animals, you'll still have access to almost all the same creatures we see in zoos today, and the only catch is that something has to die at the end. Till next time, I'm Salmonella, and thank you for watching.
Jesus, man. Bro, and Matt, like, I guess at the time didn't, like, the thought of, like, natural preservation and the fact that, you know, there's only so many these animals in the world probably just wasn't a major thought for most people at the time, right? They thought, oh, you know, these animals probably breed a lot, so there's probably tons of them, so, you know, who cares? And it's not like I'm not gonna say that I'm not gonna say all animals were spared during the Roman era, because I'm sure the Romans hunted a lot of them, or a good chunk of them, to extinction probably. But like, like we still do have elephants today, we still have rhinos today, we still have lions today. So, like, you know, it's not like they were hunted to extinction. But, like, still, it's like, at the time, you know, they probably didn't really think of it being like, we gotta preserve these things because there's only so many of them in the world. They probably just want to entertain, right? So they did like the shows, which is honestly horrific when you think about it. But, yeah, like, that's crazy, man. Crazy. But if you guys enjoyed the content, comment, or do each fair. Oh, fuck. Hit up that button. If you're new, stick around. Do me a direct by subscribing or joining the Satire Mafia. Make sure to check out Sam Manilla's channel. And make sure to check out this video. If you want to watch it without my commentary, make sure you go check it out in the description below. I'll put the link to his channel in the video. But yeah, it was that there. Peace.
Go and be on myself so I can truly build. Hey.